Welcome to the Arkansas Cattle Business Podcast, brought to you by the Arkansas Cattlemen's Association. Here, we dive into the heart of Arkansas's cattle industry, where legislation, education, advocacy, and development come together to support the hardworking cattle producers of the natural state. Whether you're in the pasture or on the road, this is your connection to the people, policies, and programs shaping the future of our industry. Hello, welcome to this episode of the Arkansas Cattle Business Podcast. I'm your co-host, Michelle Buffkin-Horton.
And I'm your other co-host, Morley Townsend.
And joining us today, you may see if you're watching online, you're going to see we're in a new place with a new face. And so we have our summer intern who's joined us probably three weeks ago, joining us here on the podcast this week. So Macy, if you will, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, so my name is Macy Tapley. I'm originally from Idabel, Oklahoma. I'm currently attending SAU and pursuing a degree in animal science and a minor in agriculture business. My background in agriculture is growing up on a cow-calf operation. I'm actually a fourth-generation rancher, so with that, my background in agriculture is very strong and very deep-rooted.
Yep. And what year are you at SAU?
I'm currently going into my junior year.
Perfect.
Yeah. So what interested you in working at Arkansas Cattlemen's?
Really just my love and passion for cattle. My freshman year, I joined the Collegiate ACA Association at SAU, and that's where the desire started.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm personally really excited to have you here and have that perspective of somebody that is involved in our Collegiate Cattlemen's, because for those of you that don't know, we started that program probably 4-ish years ago, so it's still a very new program in the terms of Cattlemen's years, and so it's definitely needs some refresh, needs some revamp. I think when we started it, we're like, let's just get it off the ground and let's go, and now that we have a little bit of time under our belt, and also we started it and then COVID hit, and I don't know if y'all know, but COVID at the universities changed things drastically, and so now I think it's the perfect time for us to sit down and revisit that program. So it's going to be good to have a perspective of somebody that's gone through the Collegiate Cattlemen's. So that's what I'm excited about. What are you most looking forward to this summer?
Really just getting to learn about this side of the business, because this is a side that most people don't get to see until they're into the career world. So just the knowledge and the networks and all the things that you can learn from this summer.
Yeah.
And I feel like we threw you into the fire, 2 weeks ago? You started a group from Mississippi State students from their cattlemen's. They stopped by. They were doing a farm tour. They stopped by. You got to meet them within a couple hours. You went to the beef council meeting, and we're like, hi, welcome, we're going. And then the next day, starting on our ACLC trip.
Yes.
So. Yeah, in true Cattlemen's fashion, like, never boring. It feels like there's always something going on. It's like, hi, hello, welcome. Now we're going to go do 8,000 other things.
Yeah, I think this is 2 weeks in through this year, third week?
Third week.
And we're just now kind of at the office for once.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, oh, by the way, here's how you log into your computer, because we haven't been here. So, no, it's been a good time. So we obviously, Norley mentioned it, we did our farm tour for our ACLC, so the Arkansas Cattlemen's Leadership Course, a couple weeks ago, and so this year they went to Northwest Arkansas and saw quite a few things. But before we jump into the more specific pieces of it, what did you enjoy about the ACLC tour?
I really enjoyed getting to see all the different types of operations. We went and saw a lot of cool things that you don't see at your average ranch, and it was a very well mix of rural producers and some bigger operations. So that was really cool, and it was really educational to get to see things from two sides.
Mm-hmm. True. Nora, what was your favorite part of ACLC?
Seeing our members getting to take pictures of cows. Mm-hmm. My passion in life, I feel like everybody's like, oh, you got the camera all the time, but
somebody has to.
Yeah, that's true. And just seeing the different operations, seeing our members, building more of a connection with them and different things. Yeah. What was your favorite part, Michelle?
Yeah, I gotta say it's very similar to what Macy's was I think the ACLC committee and the chair, Maybelle Castera, did a really good job of figuring out places that we could go that were very indicative of the state of Arkansas, but spread across the entire industry. And so we saw a feed mill, we saw a distribution center for that feed mill, we saw commercial operations, purebred. You saw some people that had quite a bit of money through other means that also raised cattle, but then you saw people that started from the ground up and were figuring it out as they went. And so you saw a wide swath of places where I feel like sometimes it's very easy, especially in a place like Northwest Arkansas, to only see, okay, well, these people have quote unquote Walmart money, or they have this or they have that. Like, that's not feasible for me. No, we were able to see people that were like, oh no, like, I do that too. Like, I connect with this all across the state. And so that was probably one of the best parts, was just being able to see how diverse and how widespread the operations were that we went to. So I talked about it a little bit, but where else did they go? Norley, what all did they see?
Where do we start at?
It doesn't have to be in order because I don't remember.
I'm trying to think.
DeVoe?
With DeVoe, they have a feed store and a cattle operation and a beef. They sell beef at their farm store. They did some other things.
And a retail store too.
Yeah, and a retail store.
And by retail, I mean like clothing.
Yeah.
Store, like not like a retail beef store, which they obviously also have, but like clothes, a general store type.
It was very diverse and very, very cool. Obviously, I'm very jealous that it's in Northwest Arkansas, not in Central Arkansas, because I can't be there all the time. But we walked in there, we're like, ooh, I need to buy that. Ooh, I need to buy that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and they also had a couple animals in there that the class got to play with. So that was pretty nice. And then we went to one operation, and they were actually working calves that day and weaning calves and giving vaccines. And so some of our members kind of hopped by the chute and I think kind of helped them. And so that was pretty interesting. I think that was, did they have Angus?
Yes.
Yeah, Angus commercial,
Yes.
Angus registered.
It was the Butler Ranch,
Yes.
I believe.
Yep, it was them. Ended the night off with Top Golf, so that was a little fun little break, little icebreaker. Everybody got to hang out and chill, and we also got to hear from Neogen, so that was fun. And then the second day we got up, went in toward a registered Charlie operation, and then traveled over, got to see another bigger commercial operation, and then seen a registered Angus operation. So that day was pretty full. We didn't get back till late, and then had a nice dinner. Then the third day we stopped at the Powell's and seen their the North Arkansas livestock auction. Got to tour that facility and then their feed mill and different things like that. So got to see a lot of things.
Yep. I mean, that's the thing, is like you see quite a bit of it across the board. I will say it was a packed week. It was supposed to rain the entire week, which is very ironic because I feel like the last time we were here we were talking about how dry it was. But it was supposed to rain the entire week, but honestly it worked out very good, where it only, I think it sprinkled on us at Jeff Williams' place, and that was about it. And it wasn't even that bad. It was literally just a sprinkle while we were riding on the trailer, so it worked out. But one of the things I did like about Jeff's place was that he raises commercial Angus, and he retains ownership through the feed yard and all that. And so he's able to actually, I mean, he was like, here's the data, here's everything about my animals. And I loved the transparency of it. A lot of times I feel like people think, oh, well, I can't do this because of X, Y, and Z reason, or like, that's not something that we could really do. But Jeff was so willing to say, hey, here's what we're doing, here's all of the information we've been able to get, how can I help you? And that was really cool to see and to have those conversations, along with the fact that the majority of his cattle graded prime, and so that was very nice and exciting to hear of a producer in Arkansas raising cattle, rotating through the rail, and seeing those success stories for sure. So what was one thing that surprised y'all on the trip?
All of it was kind of diverse, honestly. There were so many different things. Not that it was all surprising, but it was very diverse. You got to learn, just there was a lot to take in, and that was I really liked that about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so one thing that did kind of surprise me was when we saw the feed mill, the steam belt, like they let us go all the way up into where the cubes were made. So that was kind of surprising. 'Cause, usually when you go on a tour, you don't get to go see the in-depth of here's the convention belt, here's the steam press, here's how it works. So that was really nice.
Yeah, that one was cool.
That one was very unique.
Yes, for sure. We talked about how diverse it was. Why is it important for everybody, for the participants to see that diversity?
Well, coming from a younger person's perspective, I think it's very important to go into the industry being able to see how diverse it is. That way you can find your niche and find where you belong without feeling like you have to fit in this cookie cutter box. Because it's all so different now and everyone embraces it. So being able to go see different things and learn what could work for you, even if it's not exactly the same, is very important. And that comes a lot from seeing diversity and seeing how other farms operate.
Yeah, I agree with you. So I have cattle as well, and I guess one of my goals in life is to have a production cell of my own one day, maybe at our place, maybe at a cell barn one day. And we went to an operation where they do that. They have a production cell every year, I think in November, and just seeing them and seeing the hard work they put in and kind of reassuring, like, oh, I can do that. I don't have to have 200 head of calves to do that. So
Yeah, because he talked about that was in Berryville, and so that was where he talked about the fact that, like, hey, I'm right at the cusp of, like, I really maybe don't have enough to make this happen, but we have to. And so they'd started a sale sold through at the cell barn, had the production cell at the cell barn, I guess I should say. But then the last couple of years, they'd started selling at their house, and they shared the challenges of that and how to build a cell ring and everything else from scratch when you don't necessarily have the ability or the funds to sit here and build a brand new, really nice cell barn or anything like that. It was very realistic, I feel like. It's easy sometimes to see the thing, it's easy to want to look at the places that are shiny and exciting and very large scale operations, but it's always hard to connect those back to our home operations. And I think this tour was able to do that, which I believe is hopefully some of the biggest takeaways that our producers heard from from these tours, was that they were able to actually see, hey, okay, my mic just did something weird. They were actually able to see, like Macy said, hey, here's something that I can apply to my operation. Whether it's exactly the same or not, it's something we can use to better our operation. How do you think ACLC prepares future leaders?
they get to see a lot of the aspects of the industry. So in our ACLC class, they get to see a lot of the different parts of the industry. Like the first session, we throw them into the legislation. What we do, we took them to the Capitol, see how all that works. Second time, farm tour, get to see all the different operations. So they get to learn from that. And the third one is at convention, where they get to help us with that and see the behind the scenes of vendors and event planning and that kind of thing. And then the fourth one, kind of like the media, it's a media training. So if they ever have the chance, they get a camera stuck in their face, they can tell their story accurately and professionally. And then the fifth one is a beef short course, where they get to cut up a carcass. Mm-hmm. And they just get to see a lot of the different parts of the industry they don't get to normally see. So
yep, and so for y'all's reference, right now the applications are not open. We always like to talk about, anytime we talk about ACLC, we like to remind people what it is, what the focus of that program is. So it's a year-long program, 5 sessions that Norley just outlined there, and it is paid for entirely by sponsors and fundraisers. And so right now they are selling raffle tickets for a couple of different items that are available. And so you can reach out to anybody that's in the current ACLC class and ask them for that, and they can provide you with the information and help you get a raffle ticket there. But the application process opens up probably about October every year and closes in December. And so it always opens up in the fall and closes early December there for our producers to apply. We have usually about 50 or 60 applicants every year, and we accept 20 people to be in that class. And so be keeping up with our social media, Facebook page, and in the magazine, and see when those applications come up. So.
And that was one of our big events in May, but our other one was the Governor's Beef Month proclamation. And why are events like that important for our industry, Michelle?
Yeah, so we were able to work with the Department of Agriculture and participate in Governor Sanders' Beef Month proclamation. So it was actually Beef, Egg, Dairy, and Strawberry Month. And you may say, hey, that sounds kind of weird. Like, why are there 8,000 pieces of commodities together? Because it started as Beef Month and Egg Month, but then we kept adding things that we wanted to have and wanted to eat. And so we added dairy so we could have cheese on our burgers. We added strawberries so we could have a dessert. And so we have all of these things that we just keep adding, and the event keeps growing. So we were able to cook burgers for that event. Williams Baptist University, a state inspected facility here in Arkansas, actually provided the meat for that event. We were able to cook those, like over 500 burgers for that event. And so what the purpose of that was to just highlight and remind people the importance of agriculture and the economic impact agriculture has in the state. So agriculture is Arkansas's #1 industry. And so when you look at beef, egg, dairy, and strawberries, yes, they may seem like an odd combination here, but it's fairly large impact even just with those commodities alone. And so to have Governor Sanders recognize and want to say, hey, we appreciate the work that our producers are doing. We want to highlight that work and host this event for agriculture stakeholders and producers and consumers across the state. It's a great opportunity. We really, truly appreciated it. A lot of our board came down and helped cook, and actually, Governor Sanders actually joined us and helped cook as well. So helped finish off a few of those burgers as we were coming across the finish line at the event. And so it was a good time, great time. It honestly, like, it was the beginning of May. It wasn't as hot as it could have been. Like, it kind of was a really nice, fun Friday afternoon. So we really enjoyed it, really appreciated the work that the Department of Agriculture did to put that event on, but the willingness of the governor to want to host that event every year. And I think we've seen it grow exponentially over the last few years. So excited to see where it goes in the future. So another event we did, we were busy this month, guys. If you wonder why we haven't done a podcast, it's because we literally haven't been in the office. So another event we did this month in May was we sponsored the youth stockmanship event, or the cattle working contest is what a lot of people have called it or heard it called. And so can you tell us a little bit about that event and what we did there? Yeah,
and another event that we did like right after the cook was our state board meeting.
Oh yeah.
So been busy. But the beef stockmanship contest, that was brand new this year. We're really excited about it. And I think there was like 6 teams. 7. Mind the Little Rock traffic. And so each team has to be BQA certified to be able to do the contest. The teams are consisted of 3 students. They can be 4-H or FFA. They have 3 different like sessions they have to go through. So they have to identify the different tools that they need to work cattle, basically. The second session, each session is 20 minutes, by the way. The second session is they come up with a plan. So they come up with this scenario. They're given a scenario, and then they come up with a plan to vaccinate the cattle, put fly tags in their ears, vaccines, all the things. And then the last one, they actually get to work 3 cattle. So they have 20 minutes to work 3 head, give them shots, give them alive, fly tags, worm them, just I think 3 or 4 different things they had to do to them, and do them.
Tissue sample.
Oh, tissue sample, yeah. Just different things, and they had to do those in 20 minutes, and it was very interesting to get to see, just give those kids real world experience and have a contest about it.
Yep, yeah, and they were judged. Each section was obviously judged separately, but the cattle working was judged by 3 different judges there on site. And so President Hubble was one of the judges, along with Dr. Kirsten Midkiff from the U of A on the animal health side, and then Kenny Simon was also a judge there. And so obviously their point of the judges is to give them scores to evaluate these kids, but also to make sure the cattle and the animal and the kids are safe. and they're doing things correctly. And so a lot of notes were made, and advice given for the future of like, hey, like next time think about doing this, think about doing this. And to me, like that was the cool part to see. Yes, like we're not going to step in and intervene as long as everything's going well, but we're also not going to let them continue to work them at the same level. Like we're going to expect the next time we see these students that they've improved and they've grown through that contest. So it was fun. It was unique. It was the first time they've ever done it here in Arkansas. And the winner of the contest, Perry County 4-H, actually gets to go to the National Youth Cattle Working Contest in Kentucky in September. And so the ACA is sponsoring them to go and attend and compete in that contest.
So why would you say investing in youth development and stockmanship education is important for the future of the industry?
Yeah, so a lot of times one of the biggest things is that the people in the industry are not getting any younger. So finding ways to provide real world experience for the youth that are in agriculture is incredibly important. There were some kids that came through, some youth that came through this contest that owned cattle, had worked cattle, you could tell, you could see it. There were some people that had not had as much experience with cattle, but they wanted to learn. And so like we're here for both of them. We're here to help out either side, because what we're trying to do is get them interested in agriculture, get them invested in agriculture, and teach them, again, like I mentioned earlier, the right way to do things. And so the best way to do things is like, even if what they did was technically correct, like with the judges will be able to provide feedback in written form of like, hey, next time maybe think about getting all of your vaccines prepped and your fly tag ready and all of this ready before you put the first calf in the chute. And so that way the calf isn't sitting there the whole time. And so just small things like that of like, hey, like let's think about animal husbandry while we're also trying to be efficient and do all of these other things. And so I think being able to provide that real world experience, but also in a safe learning lab environment, really truly builds producers that are going to be successful down the road, because that's what we want. We want people, yes, that are going to be involved in agriculture, but we want people that have gained experience through real world application, and that's what this contest provides.
And we also want to thank W&W Equipment. They helped provide a chute for that contest, so that was very, very helpful. So we want to give a shout out to them as well.
Yeah, WW has been a long-time supporter and friend and member of the Cattlemen's Association, so we're really thankful for them for working with us, along with the University of Arkansas, who actually hosted that contest. The Animal Science Department hosted it. We just sponsored it and helped coordinate a little bit of it, but we're really grateful to be able to work for them. If you're work with them on that, if you're curious about it, you can check out information in your June issue of the Cattle Business magazine, and we'll have some photos and coverage of that event in that magazine. So also in your June cattle issue, or Cattle Business issue, it's going to be the last month of our membership updates, because that's where we are. It's June now, officially, which means we are in our final month of membership drive, and it's exciting. It is, what a month for us to wrap up, so we're really looking forward to it. What a month for us to wrap up, we're really looking forward to it. So Nora Lee, where do we ACA stand currently compared to this time last year, and what rewards do we have this month?
Yeah, so we're right at kind of a little bit behind on where we were last year. So right now we're sitting at 4,600 members right now, and then renewal cards will be sent out at the end of this week, next week. So keep an eye out on your mailboxes for that. And then membership cards will be sent out 1st of July probably. So just keep that in mind. But if you ever wonder if you paid or not, just give us a call, shoot me an email, and I can let you know. So
can you remind the listeners about the Recruitive Incentive Program and the prizes available this year?
Yeah. So obviously we're in the last month of our monthly incentives, and June is sponsored by Ross Rogers Equipment, and they're providing just one 25-gallon sprayer that goes behind your four-wheeler. So really excited about that, and whoever wins that will pick up the sprayer at convention. So
perfect. And so these next two questions I'm going to end up combining. And so what is the easiest way to recruit somebody new to the ACA, and essentially, so we're asking is, what do you get for your membership?
Yeah, so the easiest way to recruit for ACA is tell your ACA story. How you're involved, how ACA has helped you. So we like to go back to our acronym LEAD, where we, obviously, this is the things we stand for: legislation, education, advocacy, and development. And the biggest thing you get for your membership is legislative representation. By Michelle, since we're literally, I can see the top of the Capitol right here, right now on this couch, looking out our front door. And then obviously you get tangible benefits, certain discounts off different things, going to different educational things like area conferences and convention. That's coming up pretty soon. And development opportunities where we sponsor 4-H and FFA, and we have different directories on our website for our members to use as a benefit as well, and a few other different things. So.
And you mentioned convention, and we'll hop right in because I think that's going to be the biggest thing that we're going to talk about. And the most exciting piece we're going to talk about is convention. So we're getting close to convention, and so normally when and where are we going to hold convention this year?
Yeah, so we're going to be in Fort Smith this year, August 7th through the 8th. So.
Yeah, new-ish place, new to some of the staff, not all of the staff. For the last couple of years, we've been in Hot Springs, but in 2017 would have been the last year we were in Fort Smith, and so looking forward to going back. We've had a lot of people reach out and say they wanted us to go to Fort Smith, and so here we are, here in a month, here in 2 months. 2 months we'll be in Fort Smith.
So for someone who has never attended, what is the ACA convention and why is it important?
Yeah, so the ACA convention trade show is exactly what it sounds like. One of the pieces is a large trade show, one of the largest trade shows in the state for farm and ranch. So we're very proud of that, very excited to have our vendors there. They make it possible for us to have the rest of convention. But what convention is at its most is an educational, or at its core is an educational and business meeting for the Cattlemen's Association. It's where all the businesses conduct for the ACA. So we elect or re-elect officers. We vote on policy that directs us at the Capitol here in Little Rock and in DC. We conduct business meetings. We also have educational opportunities, which we'll talk about here in a bit. But that's going to be the core of what convention is those educational opportunities and where the business gets done for the Cattlemen's, along with that fantastic trade show that usually has over 100 vendors at it. And so really looking forward to both aspects of those.
So obviously being in Fort Smith is new, but what other new events are on the schedule?
Yeah, so some of the things we're looking forward to, we've rearranged the schedule a little bit, not much. But some of the new things we're looking at is we worked with Visit Fort Smith, and they were kind enough to put together a concert for us. And so I say for us loosely. So they are hosting a concert in the theater at the convention center. They have provided 300 tickets for us for the Cattlemen's attendees to go to that concert. So Peyton Howie, an up-and-coming country music artist, is going to be performing that Friday evening. And so we'll be able to, if you so choose, when you register, it gives you the option to select if you want to use those complimentary tickets. And so those are available. That's exciting, a new addition, especially at no cost to our attendees. So really looking forward to that, and grateful for the Fort Smith Convention Center and Visitors Bureau for setting that up for us. And so we'll see that concert and see the opportunities there. And then looking at educational pieces, we've rearranged some meetings. We're adding in a couple of different association or breed meetings. I know I've already talked to the Hereford Association. I'm supposed to say the Arkansas Hereford Association, and coming in and hosting a meeting, and then the Arkansas Angus Association, actually the American Angus Association, looking at hosting some educational events at convention as well.
Yeah, and you said educational events, but can you highlight some of the few Cattlemen's Colleges topics that members don't want to miss?
Yeah, so Cattlemen's College is really excited about them. One of the most exciting ones that we have is going to be our keynote Cattlemen's College, or Cattlemen's College #1. It is at lunch on Friday, so about 12:15 on Friday. And it is the ABCs of EPDs, and that's with Donnell Brown from R.A. Brown Ranch. It's coming in from Throckmorton, Texas. Really looking forward to having him and his expertise. If anybody knows R.A. Brown Ranch and the prestige and the reputation that they have built within the industry, but especially within the Angus and the Red Angus breed, I mean, it's outstanding. So really looking forward to that. We've got a Beefing Up Social Media panel that we're putting together, sponsored by the Beef Council, and so we'll be able to have some industry experts, but also some producers and farmers just like you that are turning social media into a monetized platform for them and talking about ways that you could do that out of your own operation. We're also looking at a TikTok, as I have been calling it, and I was like, I probably need to come up with a better name than a TikTok. But Dr. Kirsten Midkiff will be providing an update on Theileria and the Asian longhorn tick, along with New World screwworm. Hopefully there won't be a ton of update there, but right now we're about 35 miles from the U.S. border, and so maybe, unfortunately, have an update there. And then looking at, I'm trying to think through the rest of it, we do have the USDA FSIS, so the Food Safety Inspection Service. Administrator Dr. Justin Ransom is going to be joining us at convention, and he's going to be able to provide a building consumer trust through food safety, food labeling, and technology talk. And so really looking forward to having him there. He's a Northwest Arkansas resident, and so very excited to have him. He works in DC every day. What a commute. But really looking forward to having him come in and speak. And then we'll have our opening general session Friday at 10 a.m. And we're going, we also have a markets talk. I almost forgot it, one of the most important ones. Dr. James Mitchell from the U of A is going to come in and do a market update, a market outlook, but also give you some more real world data of not just a overview, but a more nitty gritty look at herd numbers and herd rebuilding and all those conversations that are starting to maybe possibly be had. And so that'll be that. And then Friday morning at 10 a.m. we're going to do our opening general session, and we'll have somebody from the Arkansas Weather Network will be providing a weather outlook, which if you don't know, it'll be a very interesting conversation to look and see where we go from a ridiculous drought to where we were drowning here in Little Rock just the other day, and yet, I mean, I feel like it has rained every day for 2 weeks and we're still 20 inches behind in normal precipitation amount. And so that'll be an interesting conversation there, along with a legislative update from DC, from Little Rock. We'll see what shapes up and what conversations can be had and what updates can be provided in that general session, number one. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, and when will registration open, and where can members find more information?
This week, it's open. So yeah, we launched registration this week. It is available, and so you can go online. You can register right now. You can register and pay online, or you can mail us a check once you register. Either way, you can also call the office. We'll walk you through it and fill it out for you. We're happy to help you however we can. But that convention registration is open. There are a limited number of tickets for that Friday evening concert, so if you're interested in that, go ahead and register. And if you want to get your hotel room, those are available on the website as well. We have a room block. The host hotel is Wyndham. Right there is attached to the Fort Smith Convention Center. Or we have a room block at the Marriott, which is right across the parking lot as well. Just not as many hotel rooms there for us at the Marriott. And so those are both available now. And so you got attendee registration open, and then vendor registration is open as well, open last week, I believe. And so those are both available and able to be filled out. If you have any questions, again, just call us. We're happy to walk you through it and have those conversations.
So Producer of the Year nominations are currently open. What does this award recognize?
Yep, so this will be our third annual Producer of the Year. And so what this award recognizes, we leave the parameters pretty broad because we say that they need to be benefiting and growing the Arkansas cattle industry. And that's kind of it. Like, what is benefit? Like, how do they benefit? Like, that's left up to the nominee or to the nominator of like, okay, well, here's what they're doing, here's what they're working on. And so what we're really looking to do is find the people that are going above and beyond in this industry, find the people that are doing the work every day to make the Arkansas cattle industry better, and let's honor them. Let's nominate them. Let's put them up for this award so that way we can see and recognize the hard work that they're doing across the state.
Yeah, and what qualifies or accomplishments make somebody a strong candidate?
Yeah, and that's the hard part. A lot of times when I talk to people, they're like, "Oh, well, I'm not qualified for that. I'm not this. I'm not that." I'm like, no, like we're pretty broad on this, because we know that it doesn't look the same. Can it be a commercial producer? Yes, it can. The person that won it the first year was a commercial producer. Granted, he raises Angus influenced cattle and just goes through most of his cattle go through certified Angus beef, marketed because he retains ownership through the rail, but it's not necessarily a purebred conversation only. And so a lot of times people think, well, I don't have top of the line purebred genetics, seed stock genetics. It's like, no, that's okay. Like, if you're working to better your operation and better the industry in the state of Arkansas, you're eligible, you are qualified for this. So all the requirements are: you have to be a Cattlemen's member to be able to be nominated, and you have to have an operation here within the state of Arkansas that is working to improve the industry.
Yeah, so where can people nominate people, and when is the deadline?
Yep, deadline is June 30th, so the same day as the deadline for our membership drive is the deadline for the Producer of the Year nominations. That gives our committee time to sort through the nominations and select the winner. And so that is available on our website. We'll put links in the description as well for that. And so I will say, the more information you provide about the producer, the better. And so if you're nominating somebody, you can tell them, you can not tell them, you can keep it a secret. That part doesn't matter to us, but I would encourage you to have a conversation with that person about what they're doing on their operation. Know some information, know some history. You don't have to give us their entire life story in a 15-page essay, but having more than one or two sentences, being able to share a little bit deeper about what they're working on really helps when the committee's looking at the applications. I know in the past we've had some people who are like, oh, this would probably be a really good person to recognize and nominate, or to be selected, but it's hard to read and learn about them in one or two sentences. And so I'll encourage you to put some words down on paper, have conversations with the people you're thinking about nominating, and learn some of the history, learn some of the unique things that they're doing on their operation.
Give them several paragraphs.
Yes, yeah, at least a paragraph or two, please. And so, yeah, I want to make it really hard for our committee this year to select that person. And so I encourage you, if you have somebody you're thinking about nominating, go online, go ahead and nominating them. Even with putting words to it, it doesn't take long, maybe 10 minutes. And so take some time, think of somebody within your county and nominate. I'll say the last 2 years we've had somebody out of Area 2 from the Cattlemen's be nominated and selected. And so I would say, if you have somebody within another area, reach out, nominate them, think about it, and don't think, oh, well, so-and-so is going to do it, or like so-and-so. No, go ahead and nominate them. A lot of times people are like, oh, dang, I thought you were going to do that, Norley. Like, I thought this was going to happen. Like, no, just go ahead and reach out and nominate them. Let's honor the people that are doing good work here in the state while we can. So.
Can the producers nominate themselves?
They can, yep. So we've had producers nominate themselves. That is more than okay. And so if no one knows your story better than you. So if you want to do that, you're more than welcome to do that as well. So, perfect. All right, Norley, one more reminder for membership drive and one more plug, because we are in the throes of it. And then where can they find us?
Yeah. If you would, please pay your membership by June 30th so we can get your membership card to you and give you all your benefits in a timely manner. As always, follow us on social media, Instagram and Facebook. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's where you'll find the most accurate or most up-to-date information, except on here. And subscribe on our Spotify and Apple Music. So.
Perfect. Thank you all so much. And when she says pay your dues by June 30th, we mean you can pay online, you can call over the phone and pay via credit card, or you can get your renewal card in the mail and mail it back to us, but it has to be postmarked by June 30th. That also remains if you are interested in recruiting somebody to be able to win that sprayer that she talked about, you have to have that postmarked by June 30th as well. So always like to clarify and make sure people know. We'd love to have your work out recruiting people.
Yeah, and if you ever wondering where you stand out on your sign by, recruited by, because if you want to get top hand, you have to have 15 new members or 30 renewals, or if you want to see where you're at on your monthly incentive, call me, let me know. So
That's what we're here for. We're happy to help. We
Yep.
appreciate you tuning in this week. We hope to see you again soon.
thank y'all. This is the Arkansas Cattle Business Podcast, your trusted source for all things cattle in the natural state.